Welcome to Trending Unpacked, the show that dives into what the world's been searching for and why it matters. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive that has the internet absolutely buzzing, the long-awaited sequel to a beloved Adam Sandler classic, Happy Gilmore. This isn't just about, a new movie joining the cinematic landscape. It's a fascinating opportunity to look back at a film that genuinely shaped a generation's comedic sensibility. And then, maybe even more interestingly, to look forward at why its return, decades later, is generating such an incredible surge of excitement and discussion. So this dive is really custom tailored for you, our listener, to get you fully up to speed on everything Happy Gilmore. A, the enduring legacy of the original Happy Gilmore, 1996. Okay, let's unpack this then. Before we can truly appreciate the anticipation for a sequel, we absolutely have to travel back in time. Back to 1996, what was it about the original Happy Gilmore that propelled it to such immediate success when it first came out? And maybe more profoundly, what cemented its status as this true cult classic that people are still quoting, discussing, and rediscovering almost 30 years later?
Yeah, that's a fantastic starting point because the enduring appeal is, well, it's got layers, right? When Happy Gilmore first premiered, it wasn't just another comedy. It felt different, an anomaly almost. It did achieve significant box office success right out of the gate, which was great.
Yeah.
But its real cultural resonance,
Yeah.
It's climbed to cult status.
Yeah.
That really stemmed from its audacious and incredibly unique blend of genres.
Okay, genres. How so?
Well, it dared to fuse elements that, honestly, on paper, probably shouldn't have worked together. You had the competitive intensity of a sports drama, you had the broad physical comedy of slapstick, and then just a generous, almost surreal dose of absurdity thrown in. And that combination felt genuinely fresh. It was engaging for audiences in a way that really broke away from the more standard comedies of that era.
So when you say genre bending, what did that actually look like in Happy Gilmore?
Well, think about it. You've got a film that took the high stakes, the competitive drive you'd expect from a serious sports movie, but then it just infused it completely with Adam Sandler's very distinctive comedic style, his particular brand of humor, often characterized by these sudden explosive bursts of rage, juxtaposed with moments of surprising vulnerability. That was front and center.
Right, that very specific Sandler energy.
Exactly. It was a formula that audiences hadn't really seen executed with such unapologetic energy before, and it just resonated deeply. It wasn't just a golf movie or just a slapstick comedy. It was Happy Gilmore, its own unique thing.
And it certainly wasn't your typical golf story, was it?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a failed hockey player who, against all odds, discovers this wild talent for golf. But he didn't just, quietly join the PGA Tour. He took it on in this really kind of wild, almost anarchic fashion. It wasn't the refined, quiet game we usually see.
Precisely. And that's what made it so compelling, and often just riotously funny. Happy's approach to golf was, well, anything but conventional. It was fueled by this raw, untamed anger, this passionate, almost primal energy. It manifested in explosive outbursts, throwing clubs, and a completely unique, sometimes destructive style of play.
Yeah, that's swing.
That swing. And he openly challenged the very staid, polite, and, let's be honest, arguably elitist traditions of professional golf. He was like a bull in a china shop, and audiences just loved watching him shake things up.
And this character, Happy, he really clicked as an underdog, didn't he? People rooted for him.
Oh, absolutely. Happy was the quintessential underdog. Despite his, let's say, glaring flaws, that volcanic temper, his complete disregard for golf etiquette, his general lack of refinement, he connected with audiences because he was fighting for something deeply personal and universally relatable.
Saving his grandma's house.
Exactly. Saving his grandmother's home from foreclosure. You couldn't help but root for him, even when he was behaving atrociously on the golf course. Because his core motivation was pure. He represented this kind of anti-establishment hero in the super-polished world of pro sports. He was the everyman sticking it to the system. And that's a narrative that always appeals, right? Across generations. Think about how many times people feel frustrated by rigid rules or perceived injustices. Happy kind of embodied that desire to just break free and win on your own terms.
Okay, so beyond Happy himself, the film gave us some truly iconic figures, just as memorable, really. Who instantly springs to mind when you think about that supporting cast?
Oh, without a doubt. The first name after Happy has to be Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin. He was the perfect smarmy antagonist, wasn't he? Just deliciously hateable.
Oh, totally. The finger guns.
The finger guns. His smug demeanor, the perfectly coiffed hair, those arrogant pronouncements. He embodied everything Happy was fighting against. Shooter was polished, established, and utterly devoid of genuine passion or humility. And that stark contrast between his smooth professionalism and Happy's chaotic amateurism, that fueled so much of the film's conflict and its humor.
Yeah, you needed him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine Happy Gilmore without Shooter, which is exactly why the confirmation of Christopher McDonald's return for the sequel has generated so much excitement. Their rivalry really defines the movie.
And then, of course, there's that cameo, the one that became an instant legend. Pretty groundbreaking for its time, actually.
You're talking about the unforgettable Bob Barker cameo, of course. It was completely unexpected, hilariously executed, and it all culminated in that now legendary fight scene. The sheer audacity of featuring a beloved, seemingly mild-mannered game show host.
America's grandpa, basically.
Right, in such an over-the-top, physical brawl. It was groundbreaking for a mainstream comedy. It landed with such impact that people still talk about it today. It's one of the most iconic celebrity appearances in film history. Truly cemented its place in pop culture.
Absolutely.
But beyond those two titans, Happy and Shooter, the film also featured this rich tapestry of other memorable supporting characters. You had Happy's mentor, Chubbs Peterson, played brilliantly by Carl Weathers.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, and his love interest, Virginia, played by Julie Bowen. Each one contributed significantly to the film's unique comedic blend. They added layers to Happy's chaotic journey through the PGA Tour and helped ground some of the absurdity with genuine heart,
Definitely. Okay, so this film is practically a, quote, machine, a meme generator long before memes were really a widespread thing. What are some of those key moments that just stuck with us for decades, the ones that shaped how we reference this film?
It's actually astonishing how many lines and scenes from Happy Gilmore became instantly ingrained in our collective pop culture consciousness. Top of the list, you almost have to say it. The Price is Wrong, Bob.
Yes.
That unexpected outburst from Happy, delivered with Adam Sandler's signature, often surprising, intensity of rage. The comedic timing was just impeccable. And the sheer unexpectedness of his character's frustration boiling over in such an inappropriate setting.
Right. At a golf tournament, not The Price is Right.
Exactly. It perfectly encapsulates Happy's anti-establishment persona and his inability to conform. It's a moment that captures his raw, unfiltered emotion perfectly.
It was absolutely wild, and it still holds up. That unexpected turn really defines the character.
It truly does. And building on that, of course, is the Bob Barker fight itself. We mentioned it as a groundbreaking cameo. But the fight scene itself, pure cinematic gold, the absurdity, the physical comedy, the incredible contrast of the two combatants. It was just so outlandish and unexpected.
It felt like something out of a fever dream.
Right. Yet it was played completely straight, which somehow made it even funnier. It perfectly exemplified the film's willingness to go to these absurd lengths for a laugh, and it paid off massively. It's become one of the most replayed and referenced scenes from the movie. And beyond specific lines and interactions, the film gave us that powerful visual icon, Happy's unique golf swing.
A hockey swing, yeah.
That combination of a hockey slap shot with a golf technique was just brilliant.
Yeah.
It visually represented his unconventional, rule-breaking approach to the sport, and it became instantly recognizable. Yeah. Even if you've never played golf, you know that swing. It was the physical embodiment of his personality and his rebellious spirit. And of course, we can't forget Shooter McGavin's smug expressions and villainous lines. Those have found this massive second life as prevalent memes all over the internet.
Oh yeah, Shooter memes are everywhere.
It just proves how much these characters and moments continue to resonate, transcending their original cinematic context.
So when we look at all these elements, the unconventional humor, the memorable characters, the iconic moments, what does this all mean for why Happy Gilmore went beyond its initial box office success? Why did it become this enduring cult classic, especially with younger generations like millennials and Gen Z?
It's really fascinating how its appeal bridges those generations. For millennials, it's absolutely a cherished childhood favorite. It's steeped in deep nostalgia. They grew up with Sandler's comedies, and Happy Gilmore was undeniably a cornerstone of that era. For Gen Z, it's become this discoverable gem, something they've maybe stumbled upon through social media or recommendations from older siblings, and they immediately connected with it. They see it as this quintessential piece of, like, the good old days of comedy.
So what are the core reasons it lasts?
Well, they're multifaceted. First, there's its inherent irreverence in those anti-establishment themes. Happy, with his working-class background, his raw honesty, his disdain for the stuffy, kind of aristocratic world of golf. That speaks directly to generations that often view traditional institutions with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Right, he's the relatable outsider.
Exactly. He says what everyone else is thinking, but is maybe too polite to voice. His outbursts aren't just funny. They feel kind of cathartic for anyone who's felt stifled by rules or corporate culture. Then there's the sheer quotability and rewatchability. It's packed with so many memorable lines and laugh-out-loud moments. It's perfect for shared viewing experiences, sparking inside jokes among friends. And in the age of the internet, that translates directly to content creation.
Which leads to social media's role.
Precisely. That brings us to the crucial role of platforms like Reddit, TikTok, X, all of them. These platforms have been instrumental in not just reviving Happy Gilmore's legacy, but actively sharing and amplifying it. Through countless memes, fan edits, viral clips, lively discussions, the film is constantly reintroduced to new audiences. It ensures it remains culturally relevant decades after its initial release. It's really a testament to its timeless comedic sensibility that can continue to find new life and new fans on these modern, rapidly evolving platforms. It's become this shared cultural touchstone, something that transcends generational divides because the core humor and themes are just universal.
2. The genesis of Happy Gilmore 2, a
Yeah.
surprise sequel.
Okay, so that enduring cultural relevance, that constant presence online, it created this almost insatiable hunger for more, didn't it? So when news of a sequel finally broke, how did that revelation actually happen? Given the long silence, it felt like it just appeared out of nowhere. It really was a surprise. And the informal way it was confirmed only seemed to amplify the excitement. The news didn't come from some big anticipated studio press release or a slick marketing campaign. Instead, it kind of leaked informally in 2024. And guess who leaked it? Christopher McDonald.
Shooter himself.
Shooter himself. The very actor who so famously played the iconic villain. He just let it slip during an appearance on The Ken Carman Show. Mentioned that Adam Sandler had shown him a script for Happy Gilmore 2. And this kind of casual, almost accidental confirmation coming directly from a key actor rather than some corporate announcement, it made it feel incredibly authentic and immediate to fans.
Yeah, less manufactured.
Exactly. It added significantly to the hype. The immediate widespread fan excitement was palpable. The news went viral instantly. It just confirmed how intensely people had been craving this sequel for years. It was like an unofficial green light that sparked official jubilation.
What's particularly fascinating here, though, is that this wasn't just a casual thought or some vague concept floating around. We learned that Adam Sandler himself submitted a full script. What does that tell us about his commitment to revisiting this world and how serious the project is?
That detail about Adam Sandler personally submitting a full script is incredibly telling. It speaks volumes. It indicates that this isn't just some nostalgic cash grab orchestrated by a studio, It suggests a genuine creative impetus from Sandler himself. He wants to revisit this character in this world. For a star of his magnitude to actually take the initiative to write and submit a script, that signals a real personal investment and a belief that there's more story to tell.
And it connects to his whole Netflix deal, right?
Oh, absolutely. It also highlights his deep and incredibly established relationship with Netflix. Sandler signed that massive multi-film deal with the streaming giant way back in 2014, a partnership he then renewed in 2020. This long-term, very lucrative relationship positions him as a cornerstone of Netflix's original content strategy. So for Netflix, greenlighting a sequel to one of Sandler's most beloved and iconic films like Happy Gilmore, it makes immense strategic sense.
Yeah, seems like a no-brainer for them.
Pretty much. It leverages established intellectual property with a built-in, passionate fan base. It offers a high-profile, potentially massive draw for subscriber retention and acquisition. It's a calculated move, for sure, but undoubtedly exciting for them too. Perfectly aligned with their strategy of investing in content with proven appeal.
And naturally, once that news broke, everyone immediately wanted to know who's coming back. Beyond Sandler himself, that initial confirmation was incredibly exciting for fans, given who was involved.
Indeed. The most significant confirmation, which we just touched on, is the return of both Adam Sandler as Happy Gilmore and, crucially, Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin.
The rematch, or something.
Exactly. Their dynamic was the absolute heart of the original film's conflict, the chaotic underdog against the smarmy establishment. So their reunion is truly essential for the sequel to feel authentic and true to its roots. You simply can't have Happy without Shooter and vice versa. It wouldn't feel right. Beyond that, while official comprehensive cast lists are still largely under wraps, the online chatter is absolutely alive with speculation.
Oh, I bet.
Fans are eagerly discussing potential cameos, the return of other beloved supporting characters from the original. There's a strong, almost fervent desire for those nostalgic callbacks, whether it's the quirky former golf pros, the beloved grandmas, maybe even Ben Stiller's orderly character. Hal L. People want those familiar faces, even in brief appearances. So you can certainly expect that the creators will be carefully considering how to weave those in where it makes sense for the story. It's about striking that delicate balance between crafting a compelling new narrative and delivering the kind of fan service that honors the original. The internet is already buzzing with wish lists who might appear, from other Sandlerverse regulars to surviving cast members. It's fun to see. 3. Plot speculation and the legacy sequel trend.
Okay, so while the confirmation had everyone buzzing, the actual plot details, largely under wraps, which naturally leaves a lot of room for fan theories to just run wild. What are the key rumors circling around for Happy Gilmore 2 regarding its potential storyline?
Yeah, the absence of official details has definitely ignited the collective fan imagination. Social media is overflowing with theories. The primary and probably most persistent rumor swirling around for Happy Gilmore 2 suggests it will embrace what's become known as a legacy sequel format.
Okay, what does that usually mean?
Typically, this concept involves the original beloved character in this case, Happy returning not just as the main guy, but also in a mentoring role. So essentially featuring an older, maybe wiser, maybe not that much wiser, Happy Gilmore guiding or training a new generation of golfers.
Ah, interesting. Like Chubbs mentored him.
Exactly. This narrative structure is particularly clever, actually. It allows for both strong continuity with Happy's original character arc, showing how he's matured, maybe what he's learned, while simultaneously introducing fresh narrative elements and new characters to carry the story forward. It would, in a way, complete a circle for Happy's own journey, right? Since he himself was mentored by the eccentric but wise Chubbs Peterson in the first film. So the idea of Happy transitioning from the hot-headed mentee to the seasoned, if still maybe unconventional, mentor, that's a very compelling idea. It offers a rich vein for both comedy and character development. It allows the film to revisit themes of overcoming odds and challenging traditions, but through a new lens.
And you see this online, right? On platforms like Reddit, TikTok, X. Fans are going absolutely wild with their own creative ideas, not just the legacy sequel thing, but everything. What are they hoping for? What are the big wishes you're seeing?
Oh, the fan communities are incredibly active and impressively creative.
Yeah.
It's almost like an informal writer's room out there. On Reddit, TikTok, X, fans are enthusiastically sharing their specific speculations and desires. A huge one, as you might expect, is that fervent desire for callbacks. Classic lines, iconic moments.
You gotta have some callback.
You got it. They want to hear the price is wrong.
Yeah.
Again, maybe in a new context. They want to see the iconic golf swing recreated or referenced. They want those little nuggets of nostalgia that instantly transport them back to why they love the original so much.
Right.
It's about triggering that emotional connection. There's also a tremendous amount of fantasy casting happening.
Oh, yeah. Like who?
Well, for new characters who might be Happy's protégés, or maybe even new rivals. And certainly wishlist cameos for surviving original cast members, if possible. People are wondering if they'll see characters like Otto, the homeless caddy, or like we said, Ben Stiller's Hal, maybe even a nod to Chubbs somehow. The importance of fan service in this type of legacy sequel, you just can't overstate it. It's a really delicate tightrope walk for the filmmakers, though.
How so?
Well, they need to deliver on those nostalgic expectations, give fans what they loved about the original. But simultaneously, they have to evolve the story, introduce new elements that keep it fresh, relevant, and compelling for a modern audience. It's all about honoring the past while building a compelling, justifiable future for the franchise. Making sure it doesn't just feel like a retread, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, Happy Gilmore 2 isn't just an isolated case, is it? It feels like part of a much larger trend we're seeing across Hollywood, something people are calling the nostalgia gold rush. What's driving this trend in media, and why is Netflix seemingly leading the charge in this particular strategic play?
Yeah, this nostalgia gold rush is a truly significant and dominant trend right now in the entertainment industry. And Netflix's strategic investment in these legacy sequels is incredibly telling. It's a big part of their playbook. What's fundamentally driving this phenomenon? It's a combination of factors, but largely boils down to mitigating risk in an increasingly saturated and competitive streaming landscape.
Safer bets, basically.
Exactly. Developing entirely new concepts from scratch is inherently expensive, and it comes with a high degree of uncertainty about audience reception. Will people show up?
Yeah.
Leveraging established intellectual property IP with built-in pre-existing fan bases, that's a much safer, more predictable bet. These films already have an emotional connection with viewers, often representing cherished childhood memories or cultural touchstones.
And for Netflix specifically?
For Netflix specifically, it's an incredibly smart play for subscriber retention and acquisition, both keeping who they have and getting new people. tapping into that powerful emotional connection viewers already have with beloved franchises like Happy Gilmore. That's a potent tool. It gives existing subscribers a compelling reason to stay engaged with a platform. Oh, Happy Gilmore 2 is coming. Got to keep my subscription. And it acts as a significant draw for new subscribers who might be enticed by the return of a cherished classic that isn't available anywhere else.
We've seen them do this quite a bit lately.
Oh, yeah. We've seen Netflix implement this strategy successfully with a growing portfolio of titles. Think about Hocus Pocus 2. Brought back the original cast after decades, massive hit for Disney Plus Cobrin, but similar idea. For Netflix, think Beverly Hills Cop. Axel F.
Right. Eddie Murphy back as Axel Foley.
Huge buzz for that. Or look at that 90s show, the spin-off of that 70s show. Relies heavily on nostalgia. These examples clearly demonstrate Netflix's commitment to capitalizing on the enduring appeal of past successes. Their deal with Sandler fits right in. The consistent strategy here is clear: provide comfort and familiarity in an ever-changing content world. The challenge, of course, is finding that delicate balance we keep talking about.
Delivering on expectations but still being fresh.
Exactly. Delivering on those established fan expectations while evolving the story in a way that feels fresh, relevant, and genuinely compelling for a modern audience. Avoiding that trap of just rehashing old glories without a new narrative purpose. That's the key.
Yeah.
Can lightning strike twice. Fan excitement versus skepticism.
Okay, so with all this excitement, all the buzz surrounding Happy Gilmore 2, there comes this immense amount of pressure, right? Can the sequel truly capture that lightning in a bottle magic of the original? That's really the burning question on everyone's mind, isn't it?
It absolutely is. The weight of expectations for Happy Gilmore 2 is just immense and totally understandable. The original film didn't just do well at the box office, it evolved into a genuine cult classic, beloved by generations. It's now viewed through this incredibly rosy, somewhat idealized lens of nostalgia by an incredibly deeply entrenched fan base.
Yeah, nostalgia goggles are powerful.
They really are.
Yeah.
And this creates a significant challenge for any sequel, especially one arriving decades later. Living up to that kind of revered, almost mythological status, it's incredibly difficult. Fans have often built up their own deeply personal version in their heads of what a sequel should be. And capturing that precise comedic magic, that perfect, often chaotic blend of irreverence, slapstick, and genuine heart that defined the original, that's a really tall order. There's a danger that what felt spontaneous and groundbreaking in the 90s might feel forced or dated today.
Which raises that really important question. While fans are buzzing with anticipation, there's always that underlying, maybe pragmatic skepticism, especially when it comes to these long-awaited legacy sequels. What are the potential pitfalls? What could go wrong for a film like Happy Gilmore 2?
That skepticism is entirely justified, I think, because long-awaited legacy sequels often confront very common and significant struggles. One major pitfall is just failing to recapture the original tone or humor. Comedic sensibilities, what makes audiences laugh, they genuinely evolve over decades. What felt fresh, edgy, hilarious in 1996 might not land the same way in today's cultural landscape. There's a risk of the humor feeling dated, or maybe conversely, trying too hard to be modern and losing the original charm altogether.
Yeah, trying too hard can backfire.
Big time. Another common struggle is over-relying on nostalgia. If the film just becomes this parade of callbacks and references, without a compelling original news story to tell, it can feel hollow, lazy, and ultimately really disappoint fans who wanted more than just a trip down memory lane. Think of some sequels that maybe didn't quite hit the mark. Dumb and Dumber 2, maybe Zoolander 2. They leaned heavily on past glories, but arguably failed to deliver a fresh narrative.
Felt a bit like karaoke versions of the originals.
That's a good way to put it. They felt like they were trying to recreate rather than create anew. And the challenge of introducing new characters or evolving existing ones while still respecting the established world and not alienating the existing fan base, that's immense too. It's that tricky tightrope walk again, honoring what came before, pushing the narrative forward. Many sequels have stumbled by either trying too hard to be exactly like the original or by straying too far from its core essence and spirit. It's a huge gamble for any studio, even with a built-in fan base, because a misstep can actually tarnish the legacy of the original film.
That's true. The stakes are high. Okay, so beyond just being a potential sequel, Happy Gilmore played a pivotal role in shaping what many fans now informally call the Sandler Cinematic Universe. How did this film contribute to that distinctive universe, and why does its unique blend of heart and humor still resonate so powerfully with audiences today, even decades later?
Yeah, that's a great observation about the Sandler Cinematic Universe. It's an informal term for sure, but it perfectly encapsulates that recurring ensemble of actors.
Alan Covert, Peter Dante.
Exactly. The shared comedic sensibilities, that very unique brand of humor that permeates so many of Adam Sandler's most beloved films. And Happy Gilmore is undeniably a foundational piece of this universe. It truly solidified his on-screen persona, the lovable, often short-tempered underdog with a good heart buried under there somewhere. It established his distinctive blend of wild physical comedy, outright absurdity, juxtaposed with those surprising moments of genuine emotion and heartfelt storytelling. This formula became a blueprint he would revisit and refine throughout his career.
It kind of set the template.
It really did. And the film's core appeal, why it continues to resonate so deeply with viewers, lies precisely in that blend of extremes. It's not just about the outrageous golf shots or the hilarious fights. At its heart, it's a quintessential underdog story. It's about an unconventional character who, despite his flaws, ultimately finds his place and triumphs, even if he does it in a wildly unconventional way. That raw, untamed, sometimes rage-fueled but ultimately good-hearted character, battling against a system that feels rigged, that just resonates profoundly. The film masterfully combines the thrill and competitive spirit of sports comedy with genuinely funny, memorable characters and unexpected moments of warmth and vulnerability. That makes it far more than just a typical slapstick movie. It captures this specific kind of underdog spirit that appeals to a broad audience. And that's why it's retained its power and cultural relevance for nearly 3 decades, becoming a touchstone for multiple generations of comedy fans. The provocative thought listener connection.
So as we look ahead to Happy Gilmore 2, with all its promise, and let's be honest, its inherent risks, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In this era of Hollywood's nostalgic gold rushes, these constant revisits to beloved classics, how much do we as an audience truly want these stories to be reopened? Is it about genuine storytelling? Is it about evolving a narrative in a meaningful way?
Or is it maybe simpler?
Yeah.
Just a desire for comfort and familiarity in an ever-changing, often unpredictable world. That feeling of returning to something known and loved.
Yeah. And what does your own anticipation for a frame like this, whether you're hyped, skeptical, or somewhere in between, what does that tell you about the power of nostalgia in your own viewing habits and entertainment choices?
It's definitely something to ponder as we wait, maybe not so patiently, for Happy's return to the green.
Absolutely. Something to think about. Next time on Trending Unpacked, we revisit the spotlight with Malcolm-Jamal Warner and why he's trending again in 2025.